Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to do factoring in quadratic formula, and I'm going to show you how to check your answer, or if like one form doesn't work, how to use the other one, and so forth. Okay, so like on number one, first thing you need to look for, is there a greatest common factor? Is there a greatest common factor in 7, 4, and 6? Does 7, 4, and 6 have anything alike? Any multiples? 2, 3, 4, 5? No, right? Okay. So what we do is we do the A times C. So A times C is 40. It says it is. Hold on. There we go. Hang on. I gotcha. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so what I was saying is we are trying to figure out when to use what formula, and then if one ever goes wrong, when you check it, what happens, okay? So like on number one, we're going to factor first. So we're going to factor first, and then we're going to do the quad formula, okay? You don't distract. Hey, if you're just going to sit there and not do what you're supposed to, don't distract the kids who want to do what they're supposed to, okay? So you got 7 times 6, which is 42. So we're going to find the factors of 42 that give me my B, which is 4. Okay. Once you look at all these factors, so 21 and 2, 7 and 6, and so forth, nothing gives you 4. There's not one that you can get. So if you ever do that and you're like, crap, I don't have any factors that give me 4, well, use quadratic formula and see if that works, okay? So quadratic formula, I wrote on the board. I know it's kind of dark in here today. It's because there's an overcast. Okay, so quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4a and c. And it's over 2a. And the reason I use parentheses is because whenever we go put this into Desmos, you want to make sure that you have parentheses around every time you put in an A, B, or C. And the reason being, if I don't, right here in the B's a negative, it's not going to square that negative. So it'll make your whole answer incorrect. Okay, so quad formula is negative, and then this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. So negative B plus or minus, and that's when we put it in the calculator, we do 1 plus, and then we do it when it's minus. Subtract it. B squared minus 4. A is 7. C is 6. And that's over 2. And then A. So what we're going to do is we're going to go plug that into Desmos. Okay, and if you don't remember where I gave you the Desmos tab, hold on, all my bookmarks went away today. So Hazel SE staff. Let me get to Canvas real quick. And let me bookmark this. Okay, so this is how you get to the calculator. So you go to My Class. Which is Algebra 1. Internet's going super slow. Go to Modules. Chromebook Calculators. Desmos. And then make sure when you choose assessment, you go to Texas. And it'll bring up STAR, and this is what we're using for the STAR. So you might as well get used to using it now, right? Okay. So we're going to type this formula in. So it's negative parentheses 4. And the first one, the first one I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the plus. Okay, and then square root is down here. You just click that keyboard and go right there. And then it's going to be 4. This is squared. Right, it's 4, right? Yeah. Minus 4. And then your A value is, what's my A? 7, and my C is 6. Okay. Oops. I don't know why. Minus 4, 7, 6. And then when I want all of that, you got to highlight it all and click divide. And then 2A. So my answer is still undefined. Okay, so when that happens, do you know what that means?
There's no solution?
There's no solution. Okay, so number 1 is no solution. And then I'm going to show you why. Because if you graphed it using Desmos, remember solutions are your x-intercepts. So if I graphed 7x squared plus 4x plus 6, isn't that what it is? See how this graph never touches the x-axis? So that's why it's no solution. Because solutions are when the graph touches the x-axis. So no matter what you do, what's your answer going to be? No solution. Okay? You okay on that one? Does that kind of make sense? Okay. Let's try again. So let's do number 4. So is there a greatest common factor of 1, 3, and 4? No. Okay? They're not all even. If there's a 1 right here, it's not going to have a GCF. The only time it's going to have a GCF is if there's a number in front, then I would be looking for a greatest common factor. Okay? But in this case, there's not one, so I'm going to label A, B, and C. And now I'm going to draw my T-chart. A times C. So 1 times 4 is 4. And I want to find my factors of 4 that give me my B value, which is negative 3. So your factors of 4 are 4 and 1, 2 and 2. This right here shows us whether we add or subtract these factors. So am I adding or subtracting? Subtracting. So 4 minus 1 gives me a positive 3. But I need a negative 3. So what do I need to do to those signs? Flip them, right? So it's negative 4 plus 1. So now all you do is put it in parentheses. And I'm going to separate them because do we have to do the kickback on this? No, because this is a 1. If it's a 1, there's no kickback. So all we have to do is set these equal to 0 and solve. How do I move a minus 4? You add it. So this is going to be x equals 4. And then this one, how do I get rid of the plus 1? Subtract, subtract. So x equals negative 1. Then what I want you to do is I want you, for today, we're going to practice quadratic formula to check our answers. So we're just going to write down the quadratic formula with our values in there, and then we're going to check it with a calculator. So I've got negative, what's my B? Negative 3. Plus or minus negative 3 squared minus 4 A is 1. C is -4. Over 2. And then my A is 1. All I'm going to do is change the 3, 3, 1, -4, and 1 in my Desmos. So this is now a 3. And this is now a 3. And then -1 and -4. Oops. This is a 1. This is a 1.
Those are -3s.
Are they negative? Thank you. They sure are. Thank you, sir. All right, so my first answer is 4. Did I get 4 up here? Yes, I did. So that one checks. Now let's go see when I change this plus to a minus. Gives me -1. Did I get -1? Yes, I did. Boom. So those work. Questions so far? No, we're good. Are you sure? Okay. What about number 7? What about number 7? 5, 10, and 75 all have a common multiple of 5. Okay? So that's the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to GCF a 5 out. So when I GCF a 5 out, I get x squared. 5 times what gives you 10?
5. No, 2.
I see what you were going there. Because 5 plus 5, yeah. It's fine. I do that all the time. 5 times what gives you -15? Oh my God, I just said it. 5 times what gives you 75? It's 15.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to factor this guy right here, and we can quad formula it too. So you're going to find your factors of 15. They give you a +2 when you subtract. So what are they? 5 minus 3, right? So am I going to have to do the kickback? Is there an A greater than 1? Nope, that is a 1. So you are going to set this up. And I think I screwed this up earlier. I'm going to look at something. So hold on. Please pause. Don't listen to me. 5x squared. What is it? 10x and 75? No, that's right. Okay. All right. So then what I do is I minus 5, minus 5. So x equals -5. And then this one is +3, +3. X equals 3. So we're going to check those and make sure that those are actually the original problems intercepts, right? The solutions. Okay, so we're going to do, see, A is 1, B is 2, and C is -15. So I'm going to go change that so it's -2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4. A is 1, C is -15. Oops. And that's over 2A. So let's go change those in our calculator. So this is 2. And this is 2. That's a 1, that's a 1. And C is now -15. So one of my answers is -5. Is that one I got earlier? Yes, it is. So that one checks. And now all I have to do is go change that minus to a plus, not an equals. And I got 3. Does that one work? Yes, it does. You see how, are y'all confused on anything? It's not a lot of talking to me going on today, but that's cool. It feels like a Monday, even though it's Tuesday. It's overcast, kind of makes you a little lazy. And I don't know if about y'all, but I did not want to wake up this morning. Do what?
I didn't know clouds had a cycle of 4.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded interesting. What'd you say?
I didn't know clouds had a cycle of 4.
Yeah, that's why, like, Washington has a very high suicide rate. It's because it rains all the time.
But
and it's cloudy.
It does not rain a lot up there.
Oh.
Yes, it does.
I used to
Aren't
live
the
in Washington.
Baltic states
It rains a lot.
Up where?
What?
Up where?
Aren't the Baltic states like really dark? Is that why they have like such like black metal, like heavy, like deep metal?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It really never rained in Washington, like a lot in Washington. I used to live there for like 4 years.
Really? I had a friend that's from there, and she said it rains a lot.
Where she lived down there.
I'd have to look. I can't remember.
I can see her living in like Oregon or like Seattle, and it raining a lot.
I think she's close to Seattle. Florida, it rains every day.
Florida is a God's sandbox.
It's so humid in Florida. There's no reason to even put on makeup when you live in Florida. Do your hair. If you have curly hair, you're screwed, girl. Don't even try to straighten it. Okay, so I'm going to help you with number 1. And then I'm going to show you how to do this worksheet, because I know it says you're doing it in partners, but in reality, you're doing it, because the first answer is going to be you factoring it. And then you're going to check it with your quad formula. Okay, so you're going to split your box up. One side you're going to factor, and one side you're going to quad formula. Okay, so it's going to be really easy. Y'all have plenty of time to get this done. Okay, so first thing that's wrong with this one is it's not equal to 0. So how do I get it equal to 0? Crickets. How do you get this equal to 0? What do you have to do? Thank you. You have to subtract 33 from each side. Okay, so that moves that over there. So we get x squared minus 8x minus 33 equals 0. And then what we're going to do is we're going to factor it. So we're going to find the factors of 33 that give us negative 8 when we subtract. So what are those?
11 and 3.
Yeah, 11 and 3. 11 minus 3, that gives you positive 8. But I need a negative 8. So what do I have to do to those signs?
Switch them.
You have to switch them. Good. So that's what gives me negative 8. Are you going to have to do the kickback on this? No, because A is 1. Okay? So I'm just going to set them up. X minus 11 equals 0. And x plus 3 equals 0. Now you just do your basic solving. So how do I move a negative 11? You add it. How do you move a positive 3? Subtract it. So these are my two answers I get when I factor. Okay. Oh, so it's 11 and negative 3. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up quad formula, and then I'm just going to put in Desmos and see if it works. So negative, what's your B? Negative 8 plus or minus B squared minus 4. A is 1. C is negative 33 over 2, and A is 1. So all you have to do is go change those in Desmos. So you got negative 8. This is negative 8. A is 1, A is 1, and C is negative 33. So one of my answers is 11. And then all you got to do is change the plus to a minus. And then your other answer is negative 3. So that one, boom, boom, it checks. Okay, so is anybody confused on what we're doing? You're just trying to check your answers. Yes.
Hey, Miss Pruitt.
Hey, what are you doing? How's home? Living that bum life.
Yeah.
When do you get to come back?
I don't remember.
Are you coming back?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Any other questions?
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so let's set that one up together. So this isn't equal to 0, so we have to make it equal to 0. Let me stop my screencastify real quick so they don't see all this. They don't need to. Why didn't it work? Why isn't it stopping? Hang on. Why is it going away? There we go.